Coming Down is proudly sponsored by Colorado Ganja Gear, high-quality, artistically inspired herb grinders. So let me tell you, these things are great. I actually own one. My favorite part is the perfect consistency you get after grinding. Some grinders just pulverize your herb into dust, but the razor-sharp teeth and smooth action on these always leave you with perfect, fluffy, evenly ground herb. The craftsmanship is top-notch, made from aircraft-grade aluminum, to guarantee you won't get metal shavings mixed into your herb. But the best part, truly, is each grinder features original artwork created by Colorado artist Lori Beatty. She creates unique mandalas that are laser-etched into each magnetic lid. And each grinder comes in a silk bag and has free shipping. So just go to etsy.com/shop/Colorado Ganja Gear and enter the code Coming Down in all caps for $5 off, or go to the show notes for this episode and follow the link. Thanks and enjoy the episode. Hello everyone, welcome to Coming Down. My name is Nathan, I'm here with Matthew.
Hey everybody.
Hey, we are back.
We're back!
Yeah, it's been it's been what, like 3 or 4 weeks since we put something out?
Yeah, it was the last week in November, so...
So a little over a month. Well, we needed it. We needed to recharge our batteries.
Shit. Yes.
Also, turns out December was busy as fuck.
Oh my god, yeah. We were just talking about how I don't know how we fucking did it last year.
Yeah.
And I think if you go back and you listen to our intros, I admit that all that I'm doing is working, eating, sleeping, and doing a podcast.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably do this moving forward.
Yeah.
We'll probably take Thanksgiving to the New Year off.
Exactly.
Every year moving forward. Gives us a little time to build up some content, recharge our batteries a little bit.
Absolutely.
Turns out there's just like a lot going on during the holiday season, and that's like even without family in town.
Right. Well, and you know, like coordinating with guests, like even just getting our own shit together is really fucking tough. You know, my job being an event-based business, December is our busiest month of the year. So and even with some of the like relaxed schedule that we had this year, thanks to my new manager, like it was still really fucking tight just having any free time. So.
Yeah. See, and I even get some time off, and it just didn't even feel like I did, because there was just stuff going on constantly.
Yeah. That's the holidays, man.
And turns out, like, almost all of my close friends, well, a good portion of the close friends I hang out with, all have their birthdays in that little chunk. Like, from Thanksgiving to New Year's, it's like 3 or 4 birthdays.
There's some crucial birthdays in there.
Including one co-host tucked in there, and then, you know, some holidays and all the other stuff. So yeah, holy shit. Well, anyway, enough lamenting that, but it's nice to be back.
It's great to be back.
Yeah, really happy to be on the mic, and we're gonna record some episode tonight, and gonna put out a fun little tale that I've been meaning to get out there for a while.
Yeah, man, I'm happy this one's finally hitting the streets.
Yeah, totally. And we did say we were gonna record during this break, which we did a little bit.
We did, you know, like Thank you to everyone who's supporting us. We did record while we were gone, but maybe not as much as we did.
Yeah, maybe not as much, but we've still got stuff in the bank now.
We got stuff in the can, like, and big stuff too. Like, got some juicy meat to fucking throw on the barbie.
Yeah, for sure. Some cool guest stuff. Any other updates? Like, did you get into anything cool in this last month?
Oh man,
or was it just like work and hustle and bustle?
I mean, I definitely got into some cool shit. You know, like, you know, we went and saw Star Wars together. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Like The Mandalorian was my life for a little while.
Yes,
it was so fucking rewarding.
Fuck, have we not even? Oh, we did talk about Baby Yoda a little bit on the hypothetical.
We did, but you know, like I hesitated to like talk about it too much just because I didn't want to like accidentally spill any spoilers. But kind of feel like now that the run is done, like
get caught up, people.
Yeah, seriously,
man. That Baby Yoda shit just came out of nowhere.
Oh my god, like...
Way to just save 2019, basically.
Seriously.
You know?
I mean, like, I was on the brink until Baby Yoda showed up.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I now have something to live for.
Yeah, at least there's this cute little thing.
Right. Like, to everyone out there who just, like, doesn't like Baby Yoda, I'm sorry. Because you're missing some sunshine in your life.
Are there people who don't?
A few. There are few, but I know of at least a couple, so...
Fuck, what troglodytes don't fucking like Baby Yoda, dude. Jesus,
well,
dude.
one of our patrons, but
Whoa,
love you, bud.
All right, wow. Yeah, better not tell me who that is.
Yeah, maybe it was just a fucking little. Maybe he wasn't serious, but
okay.
I mean, who knows? Just saying.
All right, well, love you, and also, what's wrong with you? Yeah, man, I went and saw some shows. Went and saw Of Montreal on New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That fucking ruled. They played like a really stripped down show and played some old stuff that they never play, which is really cool. And
love it when they do the back catalog. Any artist, when
I
they do
know
something out of their back catalog. It's
yeah,
great.
it was really cool. And like, yeah, it seemed like they just came to Portland for that show. Like,
rad.
They didn't have a tour bus. They didn't have any of their props or dancers or anything. They didn't even have merch. They just came. They just came out and
that's how they wanted to do New Year's.
Yeah, just came and rented gear and
fucking cool.
Played. Dude, and did like a classic encore where like they put the house lights up and a good chunk of the audience left.
Fools!
And I was, finishing my drink. I was actually on my way out, and then Kevin Barnes comes walking out and grabs a guitar and just starts playing. It's like, what is he doing?
God, nobody does that anymore.
And all the security's looking around like, oh, fucking really? Like, is this fucking happening now? And the band comes out on stage kind of sheepishly looking around like, is this cool? Is this cool? And they all just sit down at their instruments and like, they all just start playing. And then they put the house lights back down, let them do another song.
Fucking dope.
Like, right on. Fucking cool.
God, like... We were actually talking about this the other day because Brian Regan is coming to the Schnitzer.
Yeah.
And we were looking at the timing sheet for this show, and God, I'm probably divulging details that I could get fired for, but oops, we already fucking started. So he, on his timing sheet, there's like another like 20 minutes or something after his set that is just labeled encore.
Huh.
And we're like, so what? Like, if they don't clap hard enough, do we get to cut 20 minutes off the show? Like, right. I mean, like, how do you even call that an encore? Like, why don't you just call it part of the show? And it's like, yeah, I mean, like, everybody does encores now. Like,
well, right. Yeah, I mean,
if you don't do an encore, you're kind of a dick, right?
Well, right. So, I mean, yeah, it's just the real expected thing these days, If you're a comedian or a band or whatever, you walk off stage for the requisite 2.5 minutes or whatever.
Right. And like, as for the artists, like, absolutely, they deserve a break, and like,
but they hardly even take one. It's usually like 2.5 to maybe 5 minutes. It's like
you had enough time to get backstage and like maybe chug a glass of water,
like towel off or whatever,
hit a bong or something,
Sure.
But like, yeah, it's not even enough time to sit down and take a load off. Like,
no. It's not like a proper set break. Yeah, then they just trot back out on stage and do the whole thing.
Yep. And with comedians, it makes a lot of sense because for most of them, like, their set is like their material, like that's what they're working.
Yeah, it's a really worked out hour-long thing.
But then when they do their encore, usually that's when they shop new material. It's like, or they do like local kind of stuff.
Yeah, crowd work.
Yeah, crowd work,
around.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so for comedians, like, makes total sense. Like, I get it. That's just part of the culture. But for music, like, fuck, man.
Yeah. No, I've even gotten to the point that I really appreciate bands who don't do the encore but say as much.
Right.
When they're like on stage and they're like, hey, like, this is our last one for real, like, we're done, but just like, it'll be good, enjoy it, like, love it, thank you all for coming.
I feel like that's so much more real,
I hate the whole song and dance, because it's kind of become this tradition thing. I get it, like back in the day, bands would go off stage and the crowd would go so wild that they demanded more.
Yep. And
that's great. But now it's just this real song and dance thing that everyone does.
Exactly.
And it's like, I'd almost rather you just play your last song and then we can all just get out of here.
Just be real about it. Yeah. Because, I mean, like, what if you're one of the poor jerks who, like, is like, why aren't they turning on the house lights? Like, I guess we got to get out of here somehow. Like,
yeah, right.
If you're a neophyte or, like, somebody who's totally new to the music scene, like, you might miss out on the best part of the show.
Right, totally.
But, whatever. Maybe I'm an old man who's yelling at a cloud right now, like, these bands and their fucking encores!
Well, yeah. It's just so, like, Yeah, it's just so tired at this point.
Yeah.
Like, do we really got to do this whole thing every fucking time? But yeah, we do, and like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But this was funny because, yeah, house lights were on, people left, no one was clapping or cheering, and they just walked back out and were like, fuck it, we're playing. So,
I love it.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's fucking great.
I want to say I caught one other show. Fuck.
Daikaiju?
Oh, yeah, just went and saw Daikaiju again.
So pissed that I missed that one.
Yeah, so it still ruled. They did a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the crowd surfing and all of that good stuff. A lot less fire though.
Well, I imagine after the last time they
Yeah.
kind of had to tone it down.
Yeah, and a lot more security was around.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, so it seems like the last time they were here, they may not have informed everyone exactly what was going to be going down. So yeah, they pretty much just lit their shit up on fire up on stage, but once they moved it all down into the crowd, they didn't do any firework down there, which was a little unfortunate, but then they did proceed to drag so this time, instead of lighting all their shit on fire and just running out the front door, they handed drum kit pieces to everyone and had them all drag it out to the front and around the corner where their tour van is, and someone just set the drum kit up there. It wasn't the drummer playing it because him and two of the other members were dancing on top of their van, lighting the top of their van on fire. So someone was playing the drums out there while they were just like lighting their van on fire.
Oh, God.
So that was cool.
These guys remind me of minstrels of old.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Man, you just don't see shit like that anymore.
No shit.
Yeah, so they tore it up. They were fucking fantastic. So got to see a few shows, do a couple parties, all the holiday stuff. Holiday stuff was low-key, no family in town, so it was nice.
For sure.
God, it went so fast, though. I can't believe, we're a week into January already.
Seriously, I feel like we recorded an intro not that long ago, and it's been, a month and change.
Yeah, seriously.
So, happy to be back.
Totally. So, I don't have any other updates except for one major thing that I want to talk about. And here, let me open up my little app, my application. As the kids like to call it. So I am
That's exactly what they like to call it.
My applications. So I am officially 6 days, 12 hours, and 31 minutes cigarette free.
Dude, up top.
Yeah. It
Nice.
sucks. It fucking sucks.
No one's going to tell you it doesn't.
Yeah, but that's basically a week, and they say after a week it gets a little easier, and then they say after a month it gets much easier.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking, and I'm talking about this here, and I want to use this podcast to help me quit, because I need to quit cigarettes. I don't want to.
Let's be clear. You have quit cigarettes.
Well,
You haven't quit nicotine yet, but you have quit cigarettes.
Yeah. I mean, I've only had half a piece of gum in those 6 days. So I mean, I'm pretty nicotine free at this point.
Oh shit! I saw the little fucking pen, and I figured that was nicotine.
Oh no, this is CBD. So I got
rad.
Yeah,
That's
so I
even
got
better.
so I got a little CBD pen.
I figured that was a jewel or something.
I've been chewing on mint toothpicks. I ate half a piece of gum on day 3, but it's really disgusting and. I don't know.
Nicotine gum? That's a...
I didn't really know if it really did that much for me anyway. So,
well, right, because let's be real. The chemical addiction is gone after 48 hours. So
right, my little app tells me that 3 days ago all the nicotine left my system.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm still having cravings for it, but there's no nicotine in me right now.
Well, and the craving that you're actually having is just for the ritual of fucking smoking.
Oh yeah,
and,
totally.
I mean, obviously the CBD pen and the mint toothpicks are helping with that, but
they're okay.
They won't replace it.
No.
And so it's just getting enough distance from that to no longer have that knee-jerk fucking need,
Yeah, totally. So no, and I also got these other little things, which I'll probably smoke one tonight. They're Sherbinski's gelato hemp cigarettes, and they actually are just these little filtered hemp things, but there's no nicotine, no THC, no fucking anything.
I guess if it was a Sherbatsky, it would just be a bottle of wine.
Sherbinski. Yeah, they're not great, but they actually, like, if I'm drinking when I get when I drink is when I get the heaviest cravings.
Well, right.
So they do at least enough of an imitation for me that I've gotten through a couple nights of having some drinks, and yeah, man, it fucking sucks. What
I'm predicting they will do after we get recreational weed for the whole country is they'll actually have joints that taste like cigarettes.
Oh my god!
You can get those ashtray terpenes from a joint.
God, that'd be hilarious. Ugh, yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Wow, this tastes exactly like a fucking shitty off-brand cigarette. That's amazing. How do they do that?
Right? God, I was talking about that last night. Just like, I wish they could give me some healthy feeder bar that I can just hit over and over again.
Right?
But I guess you can't because you're fucking with your brain chemicals and you're releasing dopamines and all number of other things. So
man, but just wait until we have like nanocytes in our fucking brains and bloodstreams, and you can fucking just auto dial whatever kind of fucking drug levels you want. Of course, this is in my fucking crazy like Spider Robinson future.
Yeah, you're fucking William Gibson.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, Well, I mean, God, like the day they tell me that lung implants are like cheap and easy, and that like all the like side effect or all the negative things that happen from smoking, all that stuff's curable and cheap and easy, I am lighting up again. Like, fucking immediately, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, like I'm an ex-smoker, as you know, and I have always been on the Bill Hicks tip of like, yeah, I quit smoking. Yes, I fucking miss it.
Yeah.
No, it never fucking goes away. Cigarettes are fucking steak and potatoes and fucking lobster, and I miss it. But like, I also enjoy not getting cancer. So
right, and that's where I'm at. I smoked for 20 years, and so that was sort of the marker. It's like, all right, 20 years. That's kind of way too many.
Yeah.
So
fair.
And I'm hoping like that any damage done is reversible at this point, and that I haven't
absolutely.
already fucked myself. But
dude, give it a couple of years, you're gonna have some nice pink lung tissue again.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they say it takes a while to undo a lot of the stuff, but some of the stuff comes pretty quickly.
I don't remember how long it takes to get a completely new set of lungs. I know it's 7 years for a liver.
Yeah, I think lungs are much. My app actually tells me, but
cool.
But what I'm asking all the listeners to do, I don't want to harp on this too much, and in fact I don't even like talking about cigarettes too much because it just makes me want one. But I'm going to, every week when I do this intro, pull up exactly how long it's been. If I fail and smoke a cigarette, I'm going to have to admit to all of you, all my listeners, my co-hosts, to everyone, and I want everyone to give me all the shit.
The balls on this, man.
Yeah, well, I need...
Love it.
I'm putting every tool and resource available to me because, like, I have to quit, right?
I'm proud of you, man.
Like, I have to do it. I don't want to do it.
Well, of course not.
But like, we'll figure it out one way or another. We'll navigate this. So
I got your back, man. Hell yeah.
I know you do, and I'm asking all the listeners to have my back. So if you have any good recommendations of ways that you've quit in the past, I want to hear them. If you have any just words of encouragement, I want to hear them. And yeah, if I fuck up, I have to come back and admit to everyone that I had a cigarette, and then I want everyone to give me tons of shit, right? And make me feel really awful for it. So, because that's one of the ways that I think that I can get through it. So,
and good for you for not like boofing snuff or like, you know, some other kind of like half measure. Like,
fuck, dude. Yeah, day 3, I almost bought a fucking Juul, and it's like, no, dude. Like, then I'm just vaping. And it's like, it's technically better, I think. But like,
it's less cancer better.
Yeah, but like, we don't even really know. The science isn't really even out on what long-term vaping looks like, and
well, I mean, it's not looking good for the propylene glycol folks, you know.
Right. Yeah, all the people getting weird popcorn lung are fucking not shaping up well.
The shitty thing is, like, you can get popcorn lung from dabbing too much. Like, just any kind of fucking vapor is just not good for your lungs. Shockingly, I know, but
right.
You know, just putting things that aren't air in your lungs is bad for you.
Right.
Weird.
Right. Yeah, even these little hemp cigarettes, I mean, still have a warning on them, so I'm hoping to just use these as a mild crutch, and try not to use them too much, but I'll have to.
Well, I just realized
from these
we're talking about hemp cigarettes.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
I mean, a joint that doesn't do anything?
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
That is a worthless reefer.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
I just put that together, like marijuana cigarettes.
Right.
All right.
Right.
All right.
Useless joint.
Here we are.
But that's fine. I don't need to get all fucking lit up. A long time ago, we tried to quit smoking cigarettes, and we were like, every time we want a cigarette, we'll just smoke one of these little penners.
Oh yeah, I have worked that method.
Oh yeah, I worked for like 2 days, but we were just too stoned to do anything.
See, and that's the problem, is you kind of have to be an all day, everyday stoner for that to work.
We were, but we
shit.
just were compounding even more on what we were already doing.
Well, and for me, like, that whole, like, comatose state is, like, kind of what helped me through the nicotine withdrawals.
Yeah.
Well, and also I had pneumonia, but that's neither here nor there.
See, and that's... Oh, my God. That's what I want so bad. I want, like, a serious fucking sickness that, like, puts me in bed for a week.
I mean, I had that.
Well, at least that's what I always said I wanted. I guess I've made it through the first week, so, like, I don't know.
My formula was pneumonia, marijuana, and Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
I spent 3 days playing Final Fantasy VII, and I beat it. And by the time I was done, I was so high that I didn't want any cigarettes.
No, I mean, that's really the hardest part of all of this, is just, like... See, if I could go do something else, then I wouldn't think about cigarettes. But I'm just, like, living my life right now.
Well, right.
You know, I'm getting up for work, driving around, like, doing the stuff I do day in and day out. And cigarettes fit into all those little spaces, you know?
Yeah.
If I were just not doing my normal stuff, then... You know, cigarettes would seem weirder because it'd be like, oh, now I have to think about these and like where they fit in, but now I have to think about not fitting them in, and it's just really weird. Yeah, I would love to just go to a cabin for like a week and just like cut myself off from everyone, and you know, if I can just have a video game system and
fucking A, man.
I don't know, something, but
beat Fallout 4.
Yeah, but look, I'm doing okay. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but I'm feeling all right. Feeling better about it.
Well,
Day 3 was the worst, man. Day 3, I almost like went and bought a gun. For what purpose? I don't know.
Shooting things.
Yeah.
You know, shooting myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I am kidding, listener. I'm fine.
I did buy a gun, but that's not has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, totally. No, I do want to buy a gun. Anyway, that's another conversation for another time. We've gone on and on. So
you're coming back with a big ass intro.
Yeah. Luckily, this is a short episode, so long intro, short episode.
Yeah, you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, totally. Enjoy it. You love it. You know you love it. So, do want to do the housekeeping stuff? Do you got anything else you want to fucking talk about while we're here?
I mean, I did learn this year that Deck the Halls can be sung to the same tune as War Pigs.
Shit, yeah, it can, and vice versa.
Pretty major, yeah. Oh, and vice versa, honestly, is kind of more fun. That and nothing else, yeah.
All right, nice. Oh, man. Well, that's so much better than quitting smoking. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. So, we'll do the housekeeping stuff. We'll turn you loose on this episode. Do want to give a shout out to the one true Matthew, who is our newest Patreon subscriber. They dropped in right as we took our break. So sorry you've had to wait forever for your shout out, but here it is. Love you. Thank you so much for doing that. And if anyone else wants to join in on the Patreon, we will get some new content up soon. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like maybe next week we'll try and schedule one of those. Meant to do that over the break.
Well, I mean that was one of the stated goals, but I mean between us and our neophyte, like we couldn't make it work.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, if anyone does want to jump on that, patreon.com/comingdownpod. God, I gotta remember all these websites for this.
I know.
Shit.
I thought I was leading this, so I actually had my old fucking checklist
Your little
ready to go. Yeah.
No, that's the correct website. We've got a bunch of tiers. You can join in for just $1 a month. You get access to all the bonus content, and then we've got merch and all sorts of fun stuff. Huge shout out and thank you to everyone who has been contributing and even pitching in for the month that you basically didn't get anything. So
seriously,
fucking
thank you.
Love you for that. We'll find a way to get you some extra bonus stuff one way or another. We'll figure something out for you, but we do love you and we really appreciate you. If you want to get at me or us, but also me about the quitting smoking thing, you can hit us on Twitter at comingdownpod or email us comingdownpod@gmail.com. Please do send me some words of encouragement. It's gonna get better, but I could really use all the help I can get right now.
Yeah, or even if it's just cute cat pictures, like,
dude, for real. Yeah, like anything. Or even if you just like, I haven't cheated or failed yet, but even if you still want to shame me for all the smoking I have done, do it. I don't care. I don't care.
This is your opportunity to shame Nathan.
Yeah, anything you want to do. But we do love to hear from you. If you want to be on the show, that's a great way to hit us up too, and we'll get some guests on soon. And platforms, yeah, we don't even talk about that anymore. Nope.
If you're listening to us, you've found a platform.
Yep, totally. Do we have anything else that we need to mention?
Mothership.
Oh yeah. Jesus, dude. 1 month off. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. Comingdownpod.com. That has all the show notes. I don't think there will be any for this week, but definitely check out that site. That, we're always updating show notes too for older episodes too. So if you ever are just bored, go back and click through those. You'll find a bunch of cool pictures and stuff too. So right on, man. Let's go.
Around it, like the fucking things around us and the fact that we're primates that grew a bunch of extra gray matter for reasons, and I'm just like, all of this is so goddamn unlikely, why is this,
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, the more just like, yeah, somebody probably just tossed some code into a fucking reality machine and like, this is what it's spitting out,
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if they have like iterative AI that like we're already fucking with, then a very advanced version of that can create this. I don't see why not.
Yeah. And when we get really fucked up, we just start seeing the wiring under the board, like that's the psychedelic experience, is fucking being a little more aware of
in dreams.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. No, I had this dream the other night. And I can't remember the details, because I was trying to like remember it in the shower as it was like fading away. But there was some recurring theme in it that was from a long time ago that I hadn't had that recurring thing happen in a while. And I remember like standing in the shower, like trying to like remember all of it. And I was like, holy fuck, dude, that is like, that file is deep. Like, they had to go through a lot of different folders to like fucking access that one, dude, because haven't like dreamt that or thought about that in over a decade, and then it just popped up in my dream again, and it's like, wow, fucking, it's still kicking around in there somewhere.
Dude, shit is crazy.
Yeah. No, I always liked the analogy of saying like dreaming was like defragging your hard drive. It was sort of just like taking all the experiences from the day and just like kind of refiling them like in more appropriate places for easier access later. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a dream last night that somebody said something rude to me on purpose that made me so mad that I woke up.
Yeah.
You asshole.
Yeah. No, and actually, I don't know if I've ever like talked to you about this, but like when I finally sat down and learned how like computers work, and just how fascinating it is to me that we developed computers not with the intention of mimicking the human brain, right? We just put together these machines that do these processing applications. But then as computers got more advanced and we found out more of how the brain actually works, turns out brains are just computers and very much simulate what computers do. It's like, oh yeah, you kind of have a storage space, and I think they even figured out like the human brain's like, you know, like about a terabyte or whatever, and you know, you've kind of got these functions that act like RAM. You know, you've got this processing power and like the hyper threading, you know, and it's just like you defrag when you sleep. It's just like our brains mimic computers, which we unintentionally mimicked our brain, you know.
And now that we know how neural networks work, we're building them with computers.
Yeah,
and creating AI that can sort of dream, you know.
Right.
So
yeah,
crazy shit.
Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, I love the unintentional sort of thing of like, wow, we stumbled upon that before realizing that we were actually mapping it off of like our own brain.
Oh yeah, well, and I love the philosophy that Google is, or no, not even Google, but the internet is essentially our extended memory.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we just have it on tap now. Anytime that we need to know something, it's there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like we don't need to store stuff in our heads as much anymore.
Right.
It used to be you had to memorize shit.
Right.
Because you didn't want to have to go and find the book to look it up every fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, I know like one phone number now.
Oh, fuck, yeah. I'm not even talking about phone numbers, though. I'm talking about, like, all kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, basically, if you didn't memorize something, you didn't have that knowledge. But now, as long as somebody else has thought about it and published it, it's out there, you know? Mm-hmm. So all of us, well, who have access to the internet, that I should say unvarnished access to the internet,
right,
can pretty much have any thoughts that anyone else has put out there,
right?
Know?
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. Fucking internet, man.
Yeah,
what a thing.
Well, and it's making me realize that, you know, these totalitarian governments, as long as there is a free internet somewhere in the world, like, their days are numbered. You know, like,
I've said this for years, that the internet was the single greatest thing to ever happen to humanity, because that access to information,
it levels the playing field.
It does, man. You know, you don't get a 1984 scenario now, because like we all have access to that. No one controls the information flow,
right?
So,
and I mean, like, there is definitely an echo chamber effect for people who don't have good research skills.
Yeah, and there are like tons of negative side effects that we're experiencing due to the internet, but it kind of saved us from falling under some like pretty gnarly authoritarian, you know, scenarios. I mean, you look at like conservative thought in the 80s, you know, and it's pretty fucking gloomy, dude. Like, you know, and I mean, we even kind of see it in North Korea. I mean,
it's
they really do have control of the information flow there, and it's pretty fucked up.
It's really fucked.
So,
they're kind of like the one of the last bastions of that old guard fucking, you know, supreme dictator shit.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Fuck, I had a thought. I had a thing.
Internet.
Fucking yeah. And this is interesting too with the internet. So I was listening to Rogan. I can't remember who he was talking to. Oh, he was talking to Chris Ryan. He's like anthropologist and stuff. But they were just talking about how, or Chris Ryan was specifically talking about this breed of like grasshopper that, you know, kind of underwent all of these, you know, natural like turmoil things, and it had to adapt very quickly, and basically like adapted into like a locust, essentially. Like, it built these really like hard carapaces, and, you know, just like all these really like strange or like really unique augmentations, but it happened so quickly. It was like within one generation that they were genetically the same. Like, and you could look at them and they looked very different, and they operated very different, and they acted very different, but if you broke them down to the genetic level, they were identical.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it is crazy, and they were talking about how, like, it kind of seems like that's what's happened to humans, right?
Oh, right.
Like, we're genetically the same as the old hunter-gatherers, but we're a completely different species.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so we're kind of operating under this old set of rules, but we're this new thing that's not like the old thing even close. It doesn't even resemble the old thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's, like we talked about like how, certain isolated pockets of humanity have even evolved in different directions than the rest of us. The Sherpas have evolved to live at higher altitudes, and there's those fishermen who can stay underwater for like 10 minutes just holding their breath, and they have negative buoyancy.
Right.
It's fucking, but again, they're still, as far as I know, genetically identical to the rest of us.
They are.
And I really had a hard time wrapping my head around this for a while, because I'm just like, I mean, I understand, I guess, but like, what does it really mean that like we're genetically identical, and like the differences that we see are just phenotypes?
Right.
And then someone explained to me like, well, limpets on one rock will look exactly like that rock, because that's what they do. They try to sort of camouflage themselves.
Right.
But they can't change color or anything. It's the way that they extrude their shell.
Right.
And so you can have limpets even on one side of one rock, as opposed to the other side, will look completely different because of the current patterns depositing things differently on different sides of the rock, light patterns, what have you.
Right.
And even from different parts of the ocean, it'll be like the same fucking species of limpet, but they're like wildly different in even size and shape.
Yeah.
And that's just because they have the capability to be all of those things within their genetic code.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's so wild.
Same with us,
yeah. Yeah, the more we're finding out about how things can be genetically the same and yet resemble completely different things and are effectively completely different things.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, but I think just because we sort of still walk and talk and stuff, people don't really appreciate that humans are totally different now.
Right.
We're not human beings from 1,000 years ago, which also don't resemble humans from 10,000 years ago.
Oh, God, no.
And so on. And, and that's speeding up. And, of course, like, we're going to be very different than what we are now in another 100 years or a couple hundred years. So,
I mean, Terrence says that we're unrecognizable to ourselves 20 years ago, even now.
Yeah, so. For sure. Yeah, it's really crazy, like, appreciating how much different things look, 20 years ago. And, like, because, when you're living in it, you don't see the big change, the big swathing changes, but looking back on it, it's like, holy fuck, man, things are so different.
Yeah. And I feel like one of the easiest way to see the glaring differences is to watch old media, like old TV shows especially. Like, Seinfeld wouldn't exist if there were cell phones.
Right.
That goes, about the same for Google as well, because like so many Seinfeld episodes are about bad communication or misinformation.
Right, totally.
Like, bar arguments are such a thing of the past.
Yes.
I mean, you don't sit there and fucking try to like convince someone of your point of view, because it's so easy to just prove it,
Patrick Swayze was in Point Break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, it is crazy that sort of thing has gone away, and that's a thing for the better, for sure. I'm definitely happy that I don't drunkenly argue about fucking rat versus a scorpion.
Right.
Fucking That Always Sunny, dude.
Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, I've lost money because, I was convinced of something and like I was drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's an Elton John song.
Yeah. Right.
Next day, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, God damn it. For real.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It is.
I'll leave my phone in the car again. Yeah.
Time to do an intro. 4:49.
4:49. Okay. I liked all this lead in. I feel like this should be like the start of a episode or something.
Word. This was great lead in.
Yeah, I wonder if I could just drop a fast story and then we could do an intro.
Yeah. You got anything on tap?
Well, yeah, here, let's give this a shot.
Cool.
This is one that we recorded way too drunk, but like maybe now's the perfect time because it's a pretty short story.
Wicked. Well, we're definitely not too drunk now.
No, definitely not. So going way back to my 16th birthday. Yeah, dude, this is rad. I had already tripped once because I think I was 15 when I took mushrooms for the first time.
Okay.
But I think maybe I had done acid, but it wasn't super strong. And so we got tickets to go see. The lineup was the Aquabats, Blink 182,
yes,
the Long Beach Dub All Stars,
which
was Sublime. That was kind of their first, and right. This was their first
Sublime
outing.
Minus Brad.
Yeah, this was their first outing after Brad had passed away, and so they'd got some new singer, and we're going out and playing the old Sublime tunes, and then Primus.
Okay.
And it was called this it was like the Snowcore tour or something.
Right, it's like the Winter Warped tour.
Yeah, because this was when X Games were huge and MTV
right.
was huge and stuff. So they just put together this ridiculous lineup that doesn't make sense at all. And
sponsored by Red Bull.
Yeah, or whatever the equivalent was
Monster,
back then. Yeah, I don't even think energy drinks were around in 90, because this would have been 98. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that really hadn't. Well, Red Bull was around.
Maybe Red Bull. Yeah. Anyhow. So it was this silly lineup, but we got tickets to it, and parents agreed to let us go. And so the plan was we were gonna take some acid for the show. I don't know, at least Primus seemed like it would be a good idea.
Sure.
In hindsight, I don't know how why we thought Blink 182 on acid would be cool
Sounds
at all.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah. And at the time we were still Blink 182 fans.
Sure, but that's not acid music.
No, not really. But I guess it was just hey, we're gonna be out of the house for a whole evening, so here's our opportunity.
Yeah, fuck it. You don't get a whole lot of chances to dose.
Yeah.
When you're living with your folks. So.
Yeah, totally. So it was me and Joe. We're gonna go there, and then we were also gonna go with our friend Ricky, but he was also going with some other friends. And part of the stipulation to go was that Joe's mom had to drive us down and drive us back, and this is down in Denver, right? And so it was an hour. Oh. I don't even know.
You had to be in the car with his mom for an hour.
Each way.
Fuck.
And then I don't even know if she just hung out in Denver while we were at the show, or if she I don't think she drove back to Fort Collins and then back up to Denver, but
yeah, because that's an extra 2 hours.
Yeah, I think she went and did something, got dinner or whatever, but and so I had 3 hits of acid, little blotter paper hits.
Sure.
And the plan was I was going to take one, Joe's going to take one, we were going to save one for our friend Ricky, and we were going to give it to him when he got there. This was before cell phones, so it was just all right, dude, we're just going to meet you there.
Right.
And the other plan too was even though the stipulation was that Joe's mom had to drive us there and back, we were also going to stay the night at Ricky's house. So she was still going to pick us up, but then drive us back to Ricky's, and then we were going to stay the night there. So the whole acid plan seemed totally feasible. And Ricky's house was cool. His mom didn't really pay attention to what anyone did. So
sure.
And he had the whole basement to himself. So we were this will be cool, man. Yeah. This will be cool. We'll do the show. We'll go back to his house. And
we can really quiet in the ride.
Yeah, just we'll just have to hold it together on the ride. So we drive down there, and we're hanging outside for a while, waiting for Ricky to show up, and then it's almost showtime, and we're fuck, dude, we want to go in and check the Aquabats, but
sure.
But we didn't know what to do, and still hadn't run into Ricky, and we were all right, well, I guess we'll find him in the venue or whatever, and
sure.
So we each drop our one hit, and then walk on in. And I don't know why I did this, because I was 16 and stupid, but I just slid the other one hit into the cellophane of my cigarettes. So you could just see it. If you just looked at my cigarettes, you could just see it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. So I don't know why I did that, but it wasn't a big deal. We walked in, they patted us down, but didn't check my cigarettes or anything, and then just let us in. And we start coming up on the acid. It's not super strong, but we're feeling it. And we watched the Aquabats, but sort of hung out to the back just in case we could, run into our friend, get him his dose, and we're off to the races. The Aquabats play their whole set, and then we still hadn't seen our friend. We're just like, fuck, man, like, maybe he's outside waiting for us, because the plan was to meet outside.
All right.
We're like, okay, you know, like, also, like, let's just go out and get a breath of fresh air. And so we walk up, and we talk to this security guard, and we're like, hey, is there re-entry? And there was, and he was just like, oh yeah, no problem, like, let me just give you a wristband, or he like X'd our hands. Oh yeah, that's what he X'd our hands. Or no, it was a wristband, and we had these under 21 wristbands, and like, because then the bar areas had the over 21 wristbands. Okay. And we were like, cool, like, we can just come right back in. He was like, not a problem. So we go out there, smoke a cig, still don't run into our buddy, and we were just like, all right, well, fuck him, dude, we'll run into him at some point, like, I don't know, but like, we want to get back in, catch the rest of the show. And so we're just strolling back in. Joe walks through, they give him a light pat, he walks through, I come strolling in, and I'm like waving to the security guard that I had talked to 10 minutes ago, and he's sort of like waving at me, like waving me through, and I'm just like strolling in, and then this other security guard just kind of like steps in front of me and starts patting me down. And I don't know, maybe I looked like I was fucked up or something, but I don't know why this person just like got in my face all of a sudden. Yeah, but they start patting me down. He hits my cigarettes on the inside pocket of my jacket. He's like, what's that? It's like, my cigarettes. And he's like, pull them out. It's like, okay. And so I pull them out, and he's like, let me see them. I'm like, okay, dude. And like, hand them to him, and he flips them over and immediately just sees that dose sitting there.
God damn it.
And he looks at me, and then he just immediately like motions this cop over, you know, just like looks at this cop and motions him over. And I was just like, whoa, like, what's going on? And you know, because I'm like, the only thing I can do is just play ignorant right now. Right. And so the cop walks over, and he grabs the cigarettes from the security guard, flips them over, like sees that dose, and he's like, what's this? I was like, I don't know, what is it? And he was like, come on. And I was like, no, seriously, I bummed a cigarette off a guy out there, and he just gave me the pack, because there was only one left in there.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, the dude just gave me the pack and was like, you can keep it. And he kind of like, he kind of gives me the side eye. But then, this is the craziest thing. He reaches in and pulls this dose out with his bare fucking hands and just starts like thumbing it between his like thumb and his forefinger.
Unless he wanted to get high.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, like, do you know how this shit works? Because like, you can just absorb that through your skin, man. Like, and so he's just like thumbing it, and dude, and the like, and then just time just went on forever because
you're high.
Yeah, well, and I just don't know what's gonna happen, right. And he's just not saying anything. He's like, looks at me, looks at the dose, looks at me, looks at the cigarettes, looks at me, looks at the dose. I'm just like, dude, say something, like. And I'm trying to like stammer some shit. I'm like, dude, I seriously didn't know it was in there. I don't know why that guy gave it to me and all this stuff. He finally was like, all right. And I'm looking over at Joe too, and he's watching the whole thing go down. He's just wide-eyed, just like, oh fuck. And he finally just looks at me and goes, all right, you know you could get in a lot of trouble for this. And I was like, I don't even know what it is. And he was like, just shut up. And he was like, and he's like, the police station's right across the street. He was like, I could just take you to jail right now. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's awful. Like, you know, I'm just playing just like a total idiot, right? He's like, all right, so here's the deal. You got to get out of here. I'm kicking you out. And if I see you in here again, I'm going to arrest you.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, okay, no problem, man. Like, that seems fair. So I just like turned around and fucking walked out the front doors. And so I'm standing out there, you know, packing up my other pack of cigarettes, and like, fuck, dude, just got kicked out of the show. Like, and then Joe comes walking out, and I was just like, oh man, like, you don't got to come out here. And he's like, no, man, like, we're buds, dude. Like, let's make the best of it, you know. We got like 3-4 hours to kill until like my mom comes back to pick us up, and you know, like, fucking we're coming up on acid, so like let's do something, you know. It's like, man, all right. And so yeah, like shout out to Joe, man. He's like one of my best friends to this day, and like that's the sign of a true friend who just
absolutely.
like bail on a show to just like hang out with your buddy because he was a dummy and got kicked out of a show.
Oh yeah,
so.
that's a classic best bud move for sure.
Yeah, and so we were like, all right, well, like we should get some weed. Because like, you know, our plan was just to like run into someone in the venue and like try and cop a hit off a joint or something. So we're like, all right, let's get some weed. We got a little money. So we're like kind of walking around the back side of the venue, and we ran into all these so there's all these hippies like standing or like sitting on the stairs that are one of the exits of the venue.
Sure.
And you can actually like kind of hear the music through those doors. So we're like, right on, dude.
Okay.
At least like we're hearing like Blink 182 like do their thing, and occasionally someone would exit out that door and the door would swing wide open and you'd get just like a real clear shot of the music. And you're like, all right, this ain't so bad. And that's what these kids were doing. They're like, we couldn't afford to get into the show, but we'll sit here and like listen to it.
Oh yeah.
And that door would swing open, and then every time a security guard would come and like look at us and give us stink eye and then shut the door.
Right.
And so we like start talking to some of those hippies, and they were all like short on cash and weed. That's why they're just sitting out there doing nothing. But we do notice these kids over in this alley like sparking up something, and so we kind of go over there, and they got a little pop can with some some weed, you know, some real dirt weed, and we're just like, hey, you guys got some weed you can sell us? And they're like really skeptical of us, but they were like, yeah, okay.
Sketchy dudes with a pop can.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and they were some real fucking like weirdos. The one guy just like, all right, like, yeah, and I think he was like, cool, you can like smoke this bowl with us, and then we'll go. And so he's like, yeah, and so he's like, all right, you got to follow me. And so we walk like, I don't even know, like a ways, like 10 blocks, and we get to this dude's car, unlocks his car, pulls out a boombox and a screwdriver, unscrews the boombox.
Wow.
And had like a sack in there with a scale and fucking yeah, and just like weighed out a little dime bag for us. We're like, right on, dude, thanks.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's like real
Stoner
paranoid.
ingenuity.
Yeah, totally. And
probably a secret tweaker.
Yeah, oh, definitely, dude, definitely. That was definitely the kind of people who hang out on Colfax in Denver. So
got it.
Yeah, Colfax in Denver, for those who don't know, is like, or for Portland people, is like the 82nd of Denver. It's just, yeah, that's where just all the sketchiest stuff.
You bought weed from some dude smoking out of a pop can in an alley off of 82nd.
Basically. Yeah, basically.
Bold move.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah. we were full of moves that night. Bold, stupid, and otherwise. And yeah, and so we walk back and recover that pop can and like load up some bowls and smoke. And yeah, and we're just kind of sitting there shooting the shit. And this acid was not strong at all. You know, we were...
Right. Just some fucking weak street water.
Yeah, so, yeah, and I mean, we're just barely sort of moving it all. And we're just like, all right, whatever. And just chain smoking, talking to those hippies, listening to the music through the fucking door and shit.
Yeah.
But we keep sitting there, and yeah, we can hear, like, Long Beach Dub All-Stars play. And then Primus comes on. We can hear Primus, and we're like, damn, this is kind of where it's starting to sting, you know? But also, like, more people are leaving the show at this point, so that door keeps swinging open. Security guard runs over, stink eye, closes it.
Yeah.
On, like, the 5th time that door swung open, it just stayed propped open.
Nice.
And then it just stayed propped open.
Yep.
And then all the hippies look at each other, and then bum rush into the venue, and we're just like, follow him, and we just bum rush into the venue right behind him. And so yeah, we run into the venue. It's dark, you can't see shit, and we just like hang a right and start working our way through the crowd. And we realize that we're in the 21 and up section with giant X's on our hands.
Yep.
And we're like, oh fuck, dude, like we can't get caught up here. It's like we got to find our way down onto the floor. And so we see kind of where it is, and it's kind of like so the venue at the time, it was I think it's called the Mammoth Event Center, but it's the Fillmore now. But it's like it's like a big gymnasium. It's like a floor, and then there's kind of like permanent like bleachers on each side, and that's where the 21 and up section was kind of these like stair steps all the way up, and there was just kind of like one way in and one way out with a security guard there. And he's busy checking people's wristbands and IDs and stuff. So we were just like kind of watching him, and we're just like, all right, let's time it right. When he's kind of busy with someone, we'll just like run down past him. And that's what we did. Well, and like it was cool. We hung out up there for a minute and watched a couple songs, like some My Name Is Mud and shit.
Nice.
Just like, fuck yeah, this rules, dude.
Hell yeah.
And so the security guard, yeah, and so like we bum rush past him, and he immediately turns around, grabs Joe by the wrist, grabs me by the wrist.
Holy shit.
Looks at Joe's hand, sees the X, and like throws him like back into the crowd. Looks at my hand, must have seen the X, but throws me back up into the 21 and up section.
That is a strange choice.
Yeah, totally. And the crowd is packed, and it's Primus, and they're crazy. And Joe like looks at me, and then I just see him get swallowed by the crowd.
I was gonna say it's a fucking mosh for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And he's just like gone in a sea of people. I was like, fuck. And so I'm up there alone, like in this 21 and up section.
Fucking tucking your arm into your shirt, like, no, I only have one arm.
Right. Yeah, tucking my arm into my shirt and, you know, getting body checked by fucking drunk college dudes, fucking big, drunken, bald-headed, goateed Primus fans and shit,
God,
you know?
because they were getting rowdy up in that section,
fuck
too.
Yeah, they were, dude. Everyone was getting rowdy, man.
Jesus.
It was Brown Album Tour, which was, like, a fairly rowdy album, too, so.
Yeah, it was.
Also Primus, man.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's just Primus. Like,
yeah.
They were originally considered metal.
Yeah,
you know?
They attract a bunch of weirdos, but also a bunch of, like, jockey dudes and a bunch of, like... everyone, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
A bunch of like football players also like Primus. So.
Yeah, it's been an unfortunate association.
Yeah.
Thankfully, like once Celeste went solo, like they got a much deeper hippie appreciation, but
absolutely,
definitely some rough fucking Jocko interactions.
Absolutely. So
earlier incarnation.
So I sit up there and I enjoyed a few more songs, but I just started getting so paranoid, and I'm seeing other security walking around with like flashlights and talking on their little earpieces, and all I can think is that cop who's like, if I see you in here again, I'm going to arrest you.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck, dude, and I'm really conspicuous because I'm 16 and I look it, and I've got X's on my hands, and I'm just, yeah, and so I just like panic, and I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. I can't get arrested. Like, I just can't be seen by that cop or by the wrong person, so...
Yeah.
So I bounce.
Retreat is always a valid option.
So I just went back out the way I came and get outside and like light a cigarette, and I was just like, that was crazy. But, you know, it's like, at least I got to see like 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah, man.
So I was pretty thrilled about that. And I think they were probably pretty close to the end of their set anyway.
Sure.
And so I'm just sitting on the stoop there smoking a cigarette. I was going to wait for Joe to come out, and then this drunk guy just stumbles up on me, like bums a cig off me, and he's like, hey man, you like Sublime? I'm like,
oh boy.
I'm like, yeah man, that's why I'm here, you know. Actually, I do like Sublime, even though it was Long Beach, but he's just calling him Sublime.
Sure.
And he's just like, oh man, like what's your favorite song and all this shit. I'm telling him, and he's just like, oh man, right on. He's like, you want to meet Sublime? And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And he's like, yeah, man, like their tour bus is right over there. You want to go meet them? I was like, I ain't gonna walk up on their tour bus with your ass, dude. You know, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like the thing to do. And he's like, no. Like, I'm the drummer. I'm Bud's tour manager, man. Like, we can just go over there, dude. And yeah.
You're like, okay.
And I'm like, man, I really fucking don't believe you. And he's like, no, man, like, let's go. Like, all right, man, like, what's the worst that's gonna happen, you know?
Sure.
So I fucking follow this guy over there. He fucking knocks on the door of this tour bus, and fucking their new singer, I can't remember the dude's name, but this scraggly ass looking dude fucking opens the door, and he's just like, what's up, man? And he's like clutching a handle of tequila.
God damn it.
Yeah, and he like knows the guy knows him, and he's just like, right on, man, like, this dude cool to come in, and the guy's just like, blah, you know, and they're just like hammered, right?
Yeah.
And so they let me walk into the tour bus, and I take like 3 steps in, and they're packed full of people. Like, they got a bunch of other...
I'm sure it's just a party in there.
Yeah, a bunch of other fucking groupies and whatnot, but I see Bud hanging out down at the end, and then I see Lou Dog hanging out in the fucking bus, dude.
Nice.
I'm like, holy fuck, man, this is Sublime's fucking tour bus, dude. Like, that's fucking crazy.
You got a Dalmatian and everything.
Yeah, totally, man. Like, yeah, if it's not Lou Dog, they got another Dalmatian, you know? It's like, holy shit, dude. And it was a nice bus. They had like a chandelier and shit.
Jesus.
But everyone is just hammered, and if you have, for anyone at home, like, when you're tripping, hammered people are not the vibe.
No. It doesn't matter how cool they are.
No.
It's not going to be fun for you.
No, it is not the vibe. So, so I kind of sheepishly said hi to everyone, and they're just like, yeah, man, you want some tequila and all this shit? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't at all. And in fact, I'm going to get out of here. But like...
Well, especially like in your very early amateur days of drinking, like, you don't want to fucking mix things, you know?
At that point, I had never been drunk in my life.
Yeah.
You know, I think I had a beer, like, very minimal,
like,
ever.
No, that's the last thing you want to do.
Oh, yeah, totally. Plus, I knew that I couldn't miss my ride.
Right, and if you smell like tequila, like, it's going to be a big deal.
Right, yeah, amongst, like, so as cool as it would have been to have just, like, dove in and been like, fuck yeah, let's party Sublime! You know?
Where are you guys going next?
Yeah, right?
I'm on the bus.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking, I was like, oh, shit, this is another situation where I need to, beat feet and make a hasty retreat. So I did, but I was just like, dude, this is really cool to meet all of you guys. Like, hell yeah, like, right on. Like, I got a story to tell people now.
Right.
And then just like bounce, and they're like, cool, man. Like, you have a good night, and fucking And
I'm sure they didn't want to party with a fucking 16-year-old forever.
Fuck no.
You know?
No, they're like, goddamn drunk tour manager just dragged whatever fucking street rat he found.
Exactly. You're cool, right, man? Let's go.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, which was funny because it's like I was the only person standing on the street out there, and so he just grabbed me and was like, "Yeah, man, let's go." Oh man, so
hilarious.
Yeah, and so I fucking exit out of there and kind of make my way back around the side, and right about that time, Joe walks up, and he's all sweaty and like haggard from being in the fucking Sublime fucking pit and shit.
The Primus pit.
The Primus pit, and fucking, and he's just like, dude, what happened to you? And I was like, dude, he threw me back up in the 21 and up section. Like, I didn't know what to do. And then I fucking bounced, and then I was just in fucking Long Beach's tour bus. And he's like, what? Like, you know. And so, like, tell him the whole story. And then, like, right about then, like, Joe's mom rolls up to pick us up. And we're just like, holy shit. And, and again, thankfully, like, that acid wasn't too strong, so the ride back to Fort Collins wasn't.
So you guys never
weird.
bumped into Ricky?
We did not, but the plan was still to just go back to his house. Or, you know what? I don't remember at all. Maybe Joe ran into him in the venue and was like, yeah, we're still good to go over there. Or maybe we were just like, assumed that we were still good to go over there and just had her drop us off there. Because we were tripping. We were like, okay, well, worst case, like, we'll just wander around.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
we'll go to a park or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we did. We went back to Ricky's. He was there, let us in, was just like, dude, sorry I missed you guys. Like, the friends he was going with were just, like, running way behind. I don't even think they got there until, like, halfway through Long Beach. So they missed, like, half the show. And
fucking
yeah,
sucks.
some nonsense like that. And so, like, we tell him our whole story of the night. And he's like, Jesus, that's crazy. And, like, and if I remember correctly, I might have been conflating two stories, because I think since he never ended up finding us and doing the acid, he ended up drinking a bunch with his friends. And so he was, like, kind of drunk, but he was a really cool guy, and it wasn't, like, that weird or whatever.
Sure, well, at that age, you're not getting fucking, like, blackout drunk, you know?
But if I remember correctly, we were... God damn it. Fucking stupid shit, man. Stupid teenage shit. We were doing the fucking pass-out game.
Oh, God.
As we've talked about before. I think this is probably the last time I ever did it, but we... But, like, yeah, we did. Joe and I did it, and then Ricky did it. And Joe and I were fine. Like, it was the usual shit. It was like, well, that was weird. Now I'm tingling and whatnot.
Yeah.
Ricky fucking freaked. Like, he got up from it and was just like, what's going on? And, like, was just fucking did not know. He was, like, really out of sorts.
Had like, a panic attack.
Yeah, well, and, and he like it's like almost like he started tripping, like because he goes to the bathroom, comes back, and he's like, I was just looking in the mirror and my jaw just turned to sand. And we're like, what, dude? And then like we go out to the garage to smoke a cigarette, and like he's just sort of like bobbing and weaving and like being kind of drunk, but he just like looks up at us and he's like, am I dead? We're like, no, man. He's like, are you sure? We're like, yeah, we're pretty sure, man. He's like, well, how would you know? And we're just like, oh, well, like so many ways, dude.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, well, you're not dead, dude. And he just was having this like weird existential like tripping thing that he just like crossed a wire doing the pass out game, I think.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Sounds like he was maybe a little drunker than you thought, and then like the reset button just intensified that.
Yeah, a combination of things, and we, we're smoking weed and stuff too, so I don't even know, man.
Crossfaded for sure.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, but that's kind of the end of that story. I think because I think we were all pretty tired before too long. Like, again, not strong acid, so I think we all just passed out before too long or threw a movie on or whatever. I don't really remember how the rest of the evening ended, but yeah, that was my 16th birthday.
Fucking A, man.
I got kicked out of a show, almost arrested, and then met fucking Long Beach Dev All-Stars.
That's some good shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I've tried to convince someone that they weren't dead while we were both on 4 hits of acid.
Fuck.
It's not easy to do, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was not having it. And we're just like, dude, like, I don't know what to tell you, but, like, you're fine. Like, we're fine, you're fine.
Well, how can I know all these things then? That what? You're not dead. You have a heartbeat. You're breathing.
Yeah, you're standing. You're smoking a cigarette. You're fine. You're fine.
But, it's tough to get all those logical faculties in order when you yourself are watching your own mind melt from the inside,
Yeah. Last time we tried to record this story, and it was a little too late at night. After one too many beers, we did go off on a whole thing, but I did want to touch on it again because I just think it's interesting conversation. But fucking Sublime, man, I have never turned a harder 180 on anything in my life. Like, for a band that I used to love and like knew all the words to all their songs and just loved them, like, I can't stand them anymore.
Well, I mean, like, certain people have completely ruined it for the rest of us.
Yeah,
first
for sure.
of all.
For sure.
Secondly, I don't think that either one of us knew that they were a cover band when we first got into them. But, 60 to 70% of their material is written by other people.
For sure.
Which, there's plenty of artists out there who have had their material written for them. But to just, like, cover other bands that you like and then put it on your album? Like, it's not like it hasn't been done before, but come on,
Which they introduced me to Camper Van Beethoven by doing "Eye of Fatima."
Yeah, dude.
Which I love that shit.
Their rendition isn't bad,
Oh, it's quite good actually.
Yeah,
and
their fucking Bad Religion covers great.
Yeah, and I think they're a talented group of folks.
Oh yeah,
and I like Bradley Knowles' voice.
His voice is amazing. Yeah, he taught me how to sing. Well, Eddie Vedder taught me how to sing. Brad taught me how to sing right.
Yeah, and and there's a couple tunes that I'll still enjoy. Sure. Like Bad Fish is okay, and like there's a couple of tunes.
And my brother and I love to harmonize on their cover of Rivers of Babylon.
Yeah, totally.
That's some good shit.
But my God, and especially in 2019, so many problematic lyrics.
Holy shit, dude!
Like Santeria, like what the fuck is that song, dude?
I don't know where to start with that one. And like Mary, dude.
Yeah.
That is a rough fucking song right
Seriously,
there.
man. And again, other people ruined it. I mean, date rape isn't pro date rape, but you got all these date rapey college dudes singing date rape.
Yeah.
And it's just like they treat it as this anthem and stuff, and it's just like, man, what an unfortunate thing that happened that surrounded the culture of that band.
It's not as bad as the dudes who gang raped someone while they sang Polly, because that is just fucking sadistic.
Jesus Christ.
But fucking dude, like date rape is it's not great.
Yeah, totally. No, my God, and like Wrong Way is all about like hooking up with like 14-year-old girls and shit.
Yeah, I mean, like he's got more than one song about statutory. Like, it's not a good look.
Right, for real. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there because it's just so funny for a band that I loved so completely and that I just also hate completely now.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck that band and everything that surrounds them.
I don't hate them completely, but yeah, my undying love for them has faded almost completely.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, dude, like, they're most under... Like, what's the album that came after fucking 40 Ounces? It's got Lincoln Highway on it. Anyway.
Yeah.
The one that they recorded on a 4-track in their living room.
Oh, yeah.
Is actually...
Just like the self-titled one?
No. Came between 40 Ounces and self-titled.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, dude. It's called like Robin the Hood or something
Robin
like
the
that?
Hood, yeah.
Okay.
That shit's fucking great.
Yeah.
You know?
No, there's some jams on there. Yeah.
But like... It's great in like a fucking college band kind of fucking way. You know, it's like, it's not groundbreaking. It's nothing new. Like, it's just some talented dudes who like had a great fucking backyard band.
Totally. And they spawned so many terrible bands to come after them.
Fucking shit,
just
dude.
Like all these awful Orange County fucking like white dude reggae fucking college bro bands, just like, ugh.
Well, I'm just gonna throw this out there. If there is ska punk that's as good as Operation Ivy, I've never heard it, and I don't think that there's anything other than Operation Ivy that I want to hear anymore.
That's totally fair. I'll throw on Suicide Machines for nostalgic purposes.
Sure, and I mean, like,
and like Less Than Jake. Every now and again.
I got down to Skank and Pickle back in the day. You know? But like anymore, like. Fuck yeah, Op Ivy, but anything else, I'm just kind of like, all right.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure. For sure. There's just not a lot of room to breathe in that genre either. It's like,
no, dude.
You just kind of do that same thing.
Well, and like the fucking Oi dudes kind of ruined it, you know? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
You ever listen to Voodoo Glow Skulls?
Yeah, dude.
See, like, those dudes are cool.
Yeah.
They kind of put a spin on it.
They did, and I'm like, they had some great fucking covers.
Yeah.
But they weren't just about the covers, you know?
Totally.
Yeah. Like, that was kind of the great thing about, like, the late 90s fucking, like, the downward slope of that fucking punk movement is, like, there was just some really talented musicians who were like, yeah, we've got all of our own cool original shit, but every album we're gonna do like 2 or 3 covers that you wouldn't expect, and it's like fucking Toto or like Hall and Oates or something.
Right.
They're just doing a like fucking super fast, like real crunchy fucking version of it. It's great. Like Lagwagon had a fucking version of Redemption Song that like to this day I still think it's great. You know?
Nice. Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, man. Some of that 90s punk was fun.
Yeah, man. You know, I still fucking love Dookie. You know, like that was a great album.
Yeah. Speaking of, I spent a long time disliking Blink-182, and I'm almost kind of coming back around on them a little bit. Like, you know what? Fucking some of those songs were fun.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, I hated on Green Day for many fucking years because of everything that happened after Dookie. But dude, that was a good album.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. It absolutely was. Yeah, and I think I even kind of liked the one after Dookie a little bit.
Oh, no, there were definitely some songs on that
when
one.
they got to the Time of Your Life record, I was
I was
pretty much
so
out.
done. Not and like, you know, I'm not trying to piss anybody off who's into their music, but that's just where it ended for me, you know.
Yeah, and they all seem like, you know, fine dudes or whatever. Yeah.
I got nothing bad to say about those guys, like, at all. It's just like they took their music in a direction that I didn't want to go in. So,
yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think I went in a direction that also was veering far away from wherever they were going. So.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm not trying to throw any shade on anybody who's just trying to, like, make their music more accessible to a wider audience because they have kids and they're getting older and they need fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I definitely had some other views on that earlier in my life.
Oh, but... Yeah, I used to talk all the shit about sellouts, but I do not give a fuck. Because I would sell out in a heartbeat, and most people realize that.
Well, and God, what even is the definition of a sellout these days?
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Right.
Like, unless you're strictly, like, making music for car commercials, like...
Right. Whatever. And even then, who cares? Yeah, like you said, I got a kid to feed, I got a fucking... house to try and pay for, like,
fucking
I want some food.
Yeah, as long as you're not like saying like my shit is so political and then putting it on car commercials, like, you know, like there's no fucking
and like props to the bands who fucking, you know, hold steadfast in their beliefs and like do cool shit like that.
Oh
you know?
yeah,
like fucking Chumbawamba, dude. You know?
No, I mean, like, you know, say what you will about Carrie Underwood, or no, not Carrie Underwood. It's not her fucking thing. It's actually What's Her Bucket from Sleater-Kinney, but like, apparently their shit will never be on.
Carrie.
But it's not Carrie Brownstein. It's the drummer. What the fuck is her name? Or maybe it's not the drummer. Anyway, I'm totally fucking this up.
Yeah.
But,
anyhow. Yeah.
But yeah, like Sleater-Kinney could have their music all over fucking everything, or at least they could have back when Portlandia was a big deal. You know, like.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and I fucking respect that.
No, totally. And I mean, a lot of people did cool stuff, like Ian MacKaye from Fugazi. You know, he had a hard line of his records. CD or vinyl would never cost more than $10.
Yeah.
And he made his labels make sure that like the distributors knew that, and you could walk into any record store, even back in the day, like when, you know, Tower Records was selling new CDs for $18.99.
Yep.
Fugazi was $9.99.
Yep.
And like he just always stuck by that, and always said, if you find my records for more than $10, like you tell me, because I'm gonna fuck some shit up.
Yeah. Well, and weren't Fugazi shows always like $5 or something like that?
Yeah, they're always cheap, and and in the later days, because you know he is, I don't know, like totally straight edge, but definitely no drugs and alcohol.
Oh yeah.
He would make bars do like no alcohol shows and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, yeah. Which, you know, like a little self-righteous, but hey, whatever, man. Like, you also stick to your guns, dude. So I appreciate that.
And especially like coming from where he did, and like, you know, coming up in the scene that he did.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes there's guys who just go there to get drunk and cause some shit. So
of
like,
course, yeah.
You know, if you're not having that, and then, you know, maybe that's fine.
Yeah.
Especially if you're only charging $5. Like,
sure.
It, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
But man, the venue's got to be like, wait, what? You're only charging $5 and we can't serve drinks?
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
Know?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he has a very hard time booking shows that way. Yeah. I would not book it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But, I mean, like, fucking more power to him.
Yeah, seriously. Right on. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Want to tell that one for a minute.
No, that's a fucking great one. I'd totally forgotten about it, too. So.
Cool, right on. Well, yeah, because we might have drank a few when we tried to do that one previously. So,
like, I remember it now, you know, and I remember all the beats from it. Like, then, like, once you got on the fucking Sublime bus, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good shit.